everyone. Today we're going to look at the cosine rule. Alright, so the cosine rule and the sine rule are similar in the sense that we use them for non-right angled triangles, but the key difference is that the sine rule needs two matching pairs of angle with the opposite side and another angle with the opposite side. Cosine rule, however, uses three sides and one angle. Okay, so if you're looking at a question where you've got information around three of the sides and one angle in between two of the sides, then you're going to use the cosine rule. Okay, so first, like always, we need to start by labeling our sides with little a, little b, little c, capital A, capital B, capital C. So now, because you can see in the formula, the only capital letter that we're going to be using is capital C. That has to be the angle inside that we're using. So we're going to call this one C, which means that that side directly opposite is going to be little c. So now when it comes to little a and little b, it doesn't really matter. Let's just call this one A, let's just call this one B. Now, we don't have to label capital A and capital B, but I'm going to just because I have issues and I love labeling stuff and writing on a whiteboard. So I'm going to call this capital A because it's directly opposite little a. And I'm going to call this one capital B because it's directly opposite little b. Okay, so now we're going to use this formula and put all these numbers, all letters in there. So I've got C squared, or I could write x squared, that's fine, because it is actually an x, so whatevs. And then little a is 67 squared plus 98 squared minus 2, and then a is 67, b is 98, and then I've got cos, capital C is 113. Now, I've written these in brackets just out of habit. You could alternatively go times and times. Both are fine. All right, so in our bestie, the real MVP, we're going to get our calculators and we're going to type all this in. So 67 squared plus 98 squared minus 2 bracket 67 bracket 98 close bracket cos 113 close our bracket, and we get c squared equals 19224.08118. Now that's for c squared. I don't want c squared, I want c on its own. So I'm going to have to click square root 19224.08118, and that will give me c. So square root my answer. You know, there's a shortcut on your calculator to save your most recent answer. It's next to the equal sign, and we get 138.650 blah blah blah. 0 rounds down, obviously. So our answer is 138.65. That's how big that side there is. Okay, cool. Now, moving on to this one. What's different about this question is that I've got my three sides. What I'm missing is the size of this angle. Now, when I'm labeling, I have to make sure that I call this missing angle capital C, because it's the only angle, it's the only capital letter that is happening in the question. So it has to be C, which means this one has to be little c. As far as which one here is A and B, who cares? I'm going to call this one A, and I'm going to call this one B. Now I'm going to fill in this formula. Now, the way you know which formula is which is whatever your subject is what you're trying to find. So over here, I was trying to find a little letter. I was trying to find little c, meaning I was trying to find a length of a side. Whereas here, I'm trying to find a missing angle. So that's why my capital C is the subject. All right, let's do it. So we've got cos C is equal to A is 39 squared plus 32 squared minus 54 squared over 2 times 39 times 32. Type it in to our calculator that never fails us. So 39 squared plus 32 squared minus 54 squared over, I typed it wrong, how embarrassing, 39 squared, let's try it again, plus 32 squared minus 54 squared over 2 times 39 times 32. Okay, we've typed it in. I get a really bizarre answer. It's like a negative, something weird is happening, but don't worry, because there's a magical button that we have to push when we're trying to find angles. We click Shift, then cos, and it'll give us a little -1. Then we're going to type in all this gibberish. So 39 squared plus 32 squared minus 54 squared over 2 times 39 times 32. Or you can just click answer on your calculator. So shift, cos, answer, because I already typed it in previously. And I get theta is equal to 98.547994, blah, 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 blah. Round to 2 decimal places, 7 rounds up. So theta is equal to 98.55 degrees. Cool. So, key things you need to know with the cosine rule. Cosine rule uses 3 sides and 1 angle. 1, 2, 3 sides and 1 angle. Alright? If you're looking at a picture and it doesn't have any information on one of the sides, and that's not the side you're trying to calculate, then the cosine rule is not for you, my friend. Other things to know is you need to make sure that capital C is the angle that's in the middle that you're using for the question, okay? And then A and B don't matter which one's which, but it does matter which one is little c, so make sure you label your sides and your angles properly. And then when using the cosine rule to find angles, you've got to click Shift to get the inverse to get the answer. Okay, thanks for watching.